Hello, hello, hello. Hey, it's Monday night. I am so happy about this. It's been way too long. It's been 2 weeks of missing you guys. We're so used to coming on here. We want to do this every single Monday night because we love to inspire you. We love to motivate you. And look, check this out. This is my plant that's hanging. That's kind of a creepy looking thing, isn't it? Ah, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm in a different room tonight. But I missed you guys. I hope you've missed us too. But last week, 4 out of the 6 of us were at the Nashville event, which is we have them every 3 months, 9 days. I am so happy about this. It's been way too long. My gosh! 2 weeks just a minute here, you guys. We're so used to coming on here. I'm so sorry, gang. Oh wow! Yeah, see how easy it is to get out of the drift of things when you haven't done it for a while. But tonight we want to talk about the event. But before we get into that, I just want to stress to you that we love doing these motivational hangouts for you guys. The inspirational. I think we all need that. I know I do. I love being accountable to you, all of you out there, and we hope that we bring you some value each and every week. And just having said that, I'd like to say a big shout out to some of you that show up every week. I see Carol here again, Tracy, Linda, Carrie. I mean, you have no idea how much it means to us. Raymond, hey, Jamie, hey, knocked it out of the park this morning with that training. And, I just want to say hi to everybody and the rest of you, too, that haven't signed in on the chat roll. Go ahead. Feel free to sign in. We'd love to say hi to you. And if there's anything that you would like us to talk about, please put it down. And on that note with Jamie, yeah, he did a training this morning for just our team that, I'm telling you, it was amazing on how to get leads for free. He's kicking it out of the park. He's on the leaderboards. And, if you join our team and you become a mastermind in it, you get access to that training. So keep that in mind. But I think we need to move right along now. We're going to talk about how important events are. Even though the event is over, we want to take you back a week. And the ones that were actually there at the event, Erica and myself, we were not able to attend. Now, Erica was fortunate enough to be able to stream some of it. So, she may have something that she wants to say tonight, but the other 4 girls were there in heart, body, and soul and loved it. So, with that, let's hear the updates. Let's find out what's going on and just bring it all to us. And I think I'm going to start with Morgan. Are you stuck, Morgan, or are you live? You're not moving on my thing at all. None of you are.
Can you hear me? Somebody?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, Paige.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
Awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
So, Morgan, why don't you came the farthest to the event. You're from New Zealand, so why don't you tell them why you came that far and what you got out of it?
Yeah, sure. God, the last 2 weeks have been an absolute whirlwind for me. Nettie's right. It was a long flight. The last event was in Las Vegas, and that wasn't as long. So I think I travelled about 12 hours, like in total, for one way. I think this trip was about 18 hours each way. On the way there, I had to take 3 planes. It was almost 24 hours of travelling. So you sort of get there, and you're a little bit jet lagged, but the people that you're around and the circumstances just totally. There's no time to be tired, basically. There's just no time to be tired, and you're into it, you're meeting people, you're learning, and I shared a room with these lovely ladies on the panel, and as well as attending the event all day, we actually ended up talking all night, so we got about probably 3 or 4 hours sleep. I can see Zen laughing. Yeah, it was pretty intense without any sleep, but we still managed to get to the gym. If you guys were watching my Facebook wall, you'll see that I started exercising for the first time in about a year. So that was really, really, and that was then that got me into that. So just being around, like-minded people, being out of your comfort zone in general, you actually do things that you wouldn't normally do. And for me, that was exercise, so that was awesome. I wanted to, today I wanted to talk about one of the leaders who really, really impacted me. This guy he's $1 million earner in our company. He's been an absolute mastermind with Facebook PPC, and he's taught me everything I know about my Facebook PPC. And him and his wife got up on stage and they talked to us. I think they got up twice actually. And sometimes you're sitting there listening, and something that somebody says, it just hits home, and my eyes started to water. And in the Las Vegas event, I was crying for a lot of the event. Like, I'll be honest, my eyes were just watering, and I was I don't know if it was just because I was hearing so many truths or what it was, but anyway, so Justin Berenger, I want to talk a little bit about what he taught me at this event, and how perhaps if you're in a network marketing company, or you're in your own small home-based business, or if you're in our business, you can take these concepts, and take them back to your own businesses, and just really benefit from them. So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. So the first one is, this is a quote that he said, and I'm just going to read it out to you. You have to be free in order for others to see that it's possible. Now, I think this comes back to having limiting beliefs. So when I first joined, in the direct sales industry, I had a limiting belief that if you manage to sell something to somebody and they don't make it work, then you've essentially ripped them off. Okay, that's what I thought. That was my limiting belief. And after hearing what Justin has said, you have to be free in order for others to see it's possible. What he's basically saying is, you've got this platform in front of you, whatever business you're in, you've got this model, you've got this platform, and for you to inspire other people to also be free, you've got to be who perhaps might be interested, but you're thinking, they're not going to make it work. You need to flip your mindset and think, this is an opportunity for anybody to succeed, okay? And for you to inspire people out there to succeed, you need to be free yourself. So your main job in the beginning is to produce. Obviously, it's to help people along the way, but you're not going to be able to help people as effectively if you can't show them that what you're doing is possible. Okay, so that really hit home to me, because it's amazing, because you spend so much time thinking about other people in your team, how you're going to help them, but at the end of the day, if you can produce and you can show them that it's possible, that's the inspiration that sometimes that they need to actually just to make it work. So that was one of the things that I took away. The second thing I took away was what he said was, where I am in my life is a result of my best thinking. Now, this is a bit of a cliche, if you like, saying, and people that are listening would have heard this 1,000 times, but Justin gave us a method for how we can change our thinking, which I think is really, really, really awesome. So he's basically talking about changing your thinking, changing your beliefs, so that you can attract what you want into your life. Now, you've got to remember, Justin's a hippie, and he meditates, and he's all about the mindset. So this is coming from a place where he truly, truly believes that this is the road to success, because he's $1 million earner, and he's done it, all through sort of meditation, getting the right mindset, and having the mindset to attract, what you want into your business. So he's talking about, this might have been Dee who actually said that, but you need to listen to the inner circle every single day. Now, if you're not in our business, some type of audio, okay, so you have to listen to some type of inspirational audio, and what that does is it creates optimism. Okay, so they've got a bit of a train here, so you've got to create optimism first. Optimism creates creativity, and when you're creative, you have the skill sets and the creativity to attract the people into your business. Okay, so you see it all starts with mindset, and it goes down to creativity and attracting people. He's talked about a 30-day mental fast, and I actually did this, I did a video about it in Nashville, and I've actually done it. I do admit that I have cheated, I think twice, just because, not that I wanted to watch the program, but it was just on in the background, and I think I sat down. But It's a 30-day mental fast, so you can't watch TV, you can't listen to radio, and you just immerse yourself in, positive audio and books for 30 days straight. This is the exact formula that Justin used when he went to his first event. And within that month, I think he created, I don't even know, 26,000, I think. Results not typical. Check out our income disclosure. But he swears by this 30-day mental fast, so I'm doing it, and I encourage everybody out there. If you need a bit of a kickstart on the mental plane, and you want to take your business to the next level, do a 30-day mental fast. Cut out the TV, cut out the radio, listen to inspirational audios, and read for 30 days, and see how you feel at the end of that 30-day period. The last thing that I'm going to mention, because I think I'm taking too long, is we've got an inner circle audio called Speak the World into Existence. So if you're not in our business, you're unfortunately not going to be able to have access to this, but if you're interested, contact the person who has told you about this hangout, and they will show you where to get it. Speak the World into Existence is a audio. It takes about an hour to listen to. It's by David Wood, and everybody that was at the event has a challenge, and that challenge is to listen to that audio every single day for 30 days. Now you might be thinking, I don't have an hour spare to listen to an audio all day. What you can do is you can, put it on your iPod, and you can listen to it while you're going for your walk, your run, exercising, while you're doing the dishes. There's always time while you're driving. There's always time to listen to that. So just my little challenge for you guys today out there, do the 30-day mental fast. I'm doing it. If you cheat a couple of times, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on the bandwagon and get a copy of that Speak the World into Existence and listen to that for 30 days. And that's going to open up your optimism, which is going to open up your creativity, which is going to allow you to attract people into your business. And that is basically what I got from Justin. There were so many leaders. I think there were about 33 leaders that spoke at this event. And probably about 10 of them were earning an income that you would not be surprised at. So it wasn't in the $1 million. It might have been, they might have earned 30,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, but it was an achievable figure. So to hear those people that in in 1 year that have earned $50,000, it's really, really inspiring. And we've all come away just feeling like $1 million. And since I've been back, I've been in such production mode. I think just because of the inspiration, and when you do travel that far, you really just have to put your A into G and just get going, because there's no time to waste. Thanks, Nettie.
Thank you, Morgan. I always like to hear what Justin had to say. Typically, he's the first one that they bring out, and he just kickstarts it amazingly, him and Dee. So, yeah, the mindset. He's big on mindset, and so am I, and you've explained it great to tell us how, it attracts optimism, and that attracts creativity, and people attracted to you. So thank you very much. I don't know if I could do that 30-day. That's a challenge for me. I think
it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge.
Do I do that, or do I watch The Housewives of Atlanta? I don't know.
You do need some downtime. It's just Justin's recommendation.
I have cut the news out. That's a plus, That's a downer. But anyways, we got to move right along here. So, anybody in particular like to go next? Shirley, Kristen.
I'll go next if you want.
Okay, Zen, you take it away.
Sure. Let's see. First of all, I just want to say, going to events is amazing, especially if you're in an industry where you work online, which in our company we do. And I love living my life and doing my work online. I have flexibility so I can be with my daughter, and that's why I do what I do. And because I want to show her, she's 16, I want to show her that there are many choices in life, and you don't have to choose between career and having children. You don't have to make either or decision in life. And I feel that through my success, I'll get to show other women, and hey, men too, that it can be done. You can live life on your own terms. Because when I see the grind in LA, I posted a video earlier about being in traffic on a Saturday, and I had to do an errand because that's the only time it could be fit in. But what a bummer, because this is what they do all day on a Saturday. So anyways, that's enough about freedom lifestyle. I'm just going to get into how awesome it was to meet other team members, people that you only see online on your social media, and to talk to not only 6 and 7 digit earners, but as Morgan said, people are making 30, 50, 80 a year and building. So it's really awesome to kind of meet with them and do that. But now I want to tell you just a quick story, my embarrassing yet very funny story, because it turns out that the nugget I'm going to talk about was from one of these people. So what happened is this: at the last event, I saw Michael Martin talk, and he's on Alex and Anna Zuberov's team. And he looked a little similar, in my mind, to Chris Rushlow, who I have never met in person. So I walked up to Chris Rushlow and I said, wow, I really enjoyed your speaking last time at the event. It was really touching and blah, blah, blah. And he looked at me because I was alluding to that he was Michael, the things that I was referencing. So he gave me a puzzled look, and I said, you're Michael Martin, right? And he said, no, Chris Rushlow. And I went, oh, my God. Okay, well, can I get a picture? And you have really nice eyes. How about that? And it was embarrassing, but he said, yeah, okay, cool. And then, not even 15 minutes later, I see Dr. Steve, and I look at Michael Martin, and I said, would you mind taking our picture? And as he takes my phone, I look at him and I go, are you somebody I should know? And I was laughing. Good thing I was giggling, because he goes, well, I don't know, maybe you might. I'm Michael Martin. And I went, what? Because I was looking for him. And I told him about mistaking Chris Rushlow. He got a good laugh out of that. He said, you think I look like him? And I said, I don't know, maybe just a little bit, but you have nice eyes too. So maybe it's just you two have nice, gentle eyes. I don't know what that's about. But it was funny, and you know what? What it tells me is that 6 and 7 digit earners, $50,000 earners, we're all people, and it's all doable. And if they can do it, you can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it too. It's a matter of time and effort and just energy. And so shifting that energy, as Morgan said, through mindset is vitally important. And so, we all have to work on that. The mental mindset that he reviewed, I do part of that, but sometimes the TV's on in the background. I have a 16-year-old. What can I say? I don't really watch much TV. But now I'm going to give you the nuggets that I caught, okay? And one of them that really struck me was transparency, because I'll admit I have had issues with this in the past, because I feel like talking about struggles or where I've been and how I've gotten out of it is, it's difficult for me. And I'll get into this a little bit more later, but the other one is be consistent, which, if you're doing your daily core exercises, if you're with our company, the 8 cores, you're daily and you're consistent. Now, getting all those done sometimes is a challenge for some people because they're working or whatever, but you could, like Morgan said, you can download the audios and listen while you're at the gym. I do that all the time because I don't particularly love the treadmill, but I do it to warm up. I do it after my workout, and it allows me to listen in and get my cardio in. So, and the other thing is be yourself and do videos. So it's interesting that Jaime was actually talking about that on our group training this morning, because it really was it felt to me, I heard it from almost every speaker, video, 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 because the thing is that people join people, and if they don't have a chance to get to know, like, and trust you, and what's the best vehicle for that? Well, look at what we're doing right now. You're having a chance to, get to know all of us via, being on video. So short of having a personal meeting, this is like second best. At least you get to know from my end, and we get your feedback via the chat roll, which is awesome to me. We can chat. Once I get off and the next person is on, that's what I'll do. I'll check the chat roll to see, if anybody has anything to say, and that's just awesome. And it is the next best thing to a personal meeting. Chris Rushlow, when he got up, he really got me this time, and like Morgan said, she had wet eyes at the last event during almost the whole thing. Well, this time, Chris Rushlow got me because he was talking about his story where he had to get real and sit on a curb and look up at the stars and, kind of cop to the fact that he wasn't maybe being genuine. He wasn't really coming out as himself on video or in his emails or anything else. He just wasn't getting to the essence of who he was. And I thought, you know what? I really don't like talking about my struggles, but So I made a video and I uploaded it. And luckily for me, right now, it's temporarily lost on my computer because I couldn't decide. I even said it on the video. I don't know if I can post this. I just don't know. And I uploaded it and it got lost. But I'm sure it's somewhere in my computer. I'm just debating now how bad I want to search for it and if I'm going to post it. Because it was potency about this. Okay, I'm going to give you his breakdown of telling the story, okay, whether it's video or in your emails or how you release it a little bit at a time on your blog, but it's the opening is to set context, you know, about who you are, why you're even on a video talking about what you're about to talk about. And then you move into the struggle, where you've been, where you currently are, and where you're going, your vision. And then your turning point, which this really struck me, just the line, I'm going to do this no matter what. Because when you sit around having a plan B, or you sit around going, well, if I don't, you know, make X amount of dollars by June, I'm out, you know, and I've heard people say that in network marketing before. I mean, I know people who are in skincare, or, you know, health products, and that's what they do. That's what they say. I'm going to recruit like mad for 90 days, and if I don't make X amount of dollars by 120 days, I'm out. Okay, well, then you're probably out. Because sometimes laying the groundwork for things takes what it takes, you know, and are you putting in the time, and are you putting the time into your target market? Are you assessing where you need to be and doing it in the, you know, the best fashion that you can? Okay, then that's the turning point. Then the fourth point is journey of discovery. What happened to you to turn it around? Which leads to your epic solution, which is I needed a system, I needed a mentor, I needed a new mindset, I needed a new way of approaching this whole thing. And so that really got me about sitting on the curb, because it's not that I hide, but being transparent about where I've been, because I don't like to sit with the energy of struggle. I'd rather be where I am now and look positively towards the future and give you that. But hey, you know what? We've all struggled. We've all been there. I'm a human just like anybody else. And so when you hear about my struggles, and you probably will in a few videos, you'll know. And it'll help you get to know, like, and trust me, because we've all had struggles in life. I mean, I can't escape that just because I'm a trained hypnotherapist. I mean, that just means I'm a little more effective in dealing with it more quickly for myself, but that doesn't mean it escapes me. So that has been the part that has been a struggle for me. So I'm going to get over that little hump and get it on video. You know, that's the best that I can offer up. But it really taught me a lot, because I didn't like to disclose. So, and the other thing I just wanted to make mention of before I turn it back over was I love the idea of the 30-day mental fast. I really, truly do. And I've been indulging in most of it. But the one thing that I really loved was when Dee stood up and said, yeah, here's your key word, optimism. And I've always been known for being optimistic, and I am an optimist. And so I just love that word, because that really is key in turning around your mindset. Because if you think about it, if you have an optimistic mindset, you're always looking towards a nice, positive outcome. And doesn't that feel better than wondering what's going to go wrong or how's this not going to work out? It feels so much more pleasant to think, what's the best outcome that can possibly happen? And that's where I want to keep my thinking and my focus, because that's the outcome that I actually want. So I spend some time, you know, either cutting out pictures or visualizing or just going and doing things that make me feel like I already earn whatever my number is. And yours could be different than mine. I mean, you know, listen, I live in LA. My number's likely to be higher than anybody else's because it's expensive here. But I like to travel, and I like to live a simple yet paid for cash lifestyle, and that is the essence of it. So I'm going to turn it back over now, because I think I've dropped the golden nuggets from this transparency, do video, and I'm just going to give you the quick version from the last event. I don't remember who said it, but I don't care if you're ugly. There's lots of ugly people out in the world. Get on video, they'll relate to you. I don't care if you stutter. In fact, other stutterers will honor you for getting on video and stuttering, because it's a struggle that they've had and they can relate. So just whoever you are, get on video, put a Post-it note in front of your iPhone, look directly into those two little dots, and just start recording. And if you don't like it, delete it for the first 5 days. But then start really watching your replay and post it. Just post it. put it straight up to Facebook and then upload it to YouTube, Vimeo, or wherever else you want to do it. And just do it. People will understand that you're just a human like everybody else and you stumble over words sometimes. And I'm going to leave it right there. Thanks so much. And thank you all, regulars and other people who are just joining tonight. Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Like Nettie said, you know, without you, we wouldn't be here. And so we totally enjoy this hour with you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Zen. And I am so glad you touched on Chris Rushlow, because I have heard from so many people that he had pretty near everybody in that room in tears. And I wonder, I've heard his story before, but I wondered if it was the way he delivered it, or you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad you told us what he talked about, because
yeah, he's got really good delivery. But what happens is he tells a story about how he was kind of at a party with a friend. At least this is the portion of the story that kind of got me, and that he was kind of selling his business to people left, right, and center. And his friend just couldn't relate and kept walking away. And he asked her, "Why are you walking away?" And she said, "Because you're not being you. You're not being genuine. You're not being real." Mm-hmm. And so he had, you know, kind of an epiphany moment where he had to, you know, walk away. And I don't remember whether it happened that day or the next day or whatever, but or later that night, because it was something about sitting on a curb, looking up at the stars, and saying, "How can I do this? How can I be more transparent? How can I just release this disingenuous thing, you know, and just get real?" Mm-hmm. And so it was really nice, because I don't feel that I haven't been real, but the truth is I haven't been overly transparent about a lot of struggles because I don't like to talk about it. But you know what? If it helps one other person, then it's kind of my duty to do it, isn't it? And so, you know, just to let you know, I mean, I'm working on the Zen Life program, and I'm setting up a page because there are a lot of people out there that want to lose what I call excess energy sitting around their middle. And to me, it's a holistic thing, and I've been through that struggle. I was a heavy kid. Why not share that story and help other people with it? So now I'm down with it, and that's what I'm doing. So, you know, I know it'll be helpful to a lot of people. And when I set up the page, I'll maybe make mention of it next week, so that everybody who's interested in losing a few before they get to the next event, if they're with our company or just interested in general, can tune in. Yeah.
I would love to see that page. Just going back to your videos too, about do a video. I think something else that I've heard to help these people get out there and do a video is really, when you turn that camera on, don't act like you're talking to 100 people.
No, your best friend. You're talking to your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And actually, you know what I did on Facebook? Because I've had a friend here in LA for 30 years, and she loves everything I do. I swear. I mean, I couldn't have a bigger-hearted person in my life. But I recently added her to my Zen Devon page. Now, she's part of my personal page that I have with my legal name, because I tend to keep my high school friends, my friends from when I lived in Singapore, and my tight friends on that page. But she saw a video that I uploaded to YouTube, and it apparently went to my other page, which I don't care. I'm not hiding what I'm doing. A few things have actually landed there. But I invited her to join on the Zen page because I thought, you know what? Let me hear her feedback about videos. And she just said, you know, I love the way you just, you know, you make mistakes and you just carry on. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Because I do. I stumble over words, and I don't care. I just keep going. But now, my most recent videos, like I put the Post-it note over that because I find it distracting to look at my own face when I'm videotaping. And I think about talking to her, because she always listens to everything I say and goes, wow. You know, it's all and that's kind of my personal fan club. I mean, why not speak to her, right?
Just pretend you're talking to your mom or your husband or your spouse, your wife.
Somebody who's close to you, you know.
A good friend. I prefer the good friend, because sometimes I think we open up more to friends than we do to family. So.
Well, yes, family for sure. And you know, just recently though, I'll share with you this. My boo went to visit his mother in another country, and he told me that when he missed me, he went to YouTube to see if I had released any videos. He only knew about 2 videos that I had. Well, I have 243. 90% of those are on private, but I've been releasing them. But he found one, and he said he was watching, and he said it was really inspiring. I had no idea you had that in you. And I went, huh. well, I guess I don't share myself with the peeps that are closest to me as much as I should. So see, I'm coming out of my my transparency shell, because I guess I don't share who I am and what I do as much as I think that I do. So it's been a big lesson for me listening to Chris Rushlow explain it that way. You just have to get real and get transparent all across the board with people that you don't know, to help them get into your business and be attracted to you, and with your family and friends. Because frankly, if my family and friends want to unfriend me because they see a video about me talking about a vision of helping people change their lives, well, then go ahead and unfriend me. It's cool, I mean, I won't dislike you for it, but we just won't have a basis for commonality in that regard, and that's okay too. You don't have to have everything in common with people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to hearing some of your videos, and definitely your food page, and
okay, cool.
Looking good.
So so much time. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Shirley or Kristen, which one of you two would like to go ahead and tell us what you experienced and what you feel your big takeaway was, and also how it's going to help you and help everybody else by sharing it with us? Which one of you? It doesn't matter to me. Okay, I'll pick. Shirley.
I think I had myself unmuted, but I was actually hoping you wouldn't pick me. Well,
I can mute you again if you want.
No, it's all good. I've just been sitting here listening to you, all you ladies, so far, and I've been trying to muster up the courage. Am I going to talk about the breakthroughs I had that are obvious, or am I going to also talk about some of the deep breakthroughs I've had that I don't know, right? So I really feel that this event has changed so many lives. I'm following new friends on Facebook, and I'm, loving the breakthroughs that they're having. But what struck me the most is that when we were at this event, I have never before experienced friendships the way I have experienced friendships at this event. I have never been around a group of ladies that I've been like, it's cliche to say that we've, grown closer because we roomed together, but there was something deeper that happened. We talked about things I've never talked about to another human. We've talked about our marriages, our lives, our deep, deep struggles, and these ladies were with me all weekend long, saying, "Shirley, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to think that way? Asking me really hardcore questions?" And I think that events are great for learning, but when you actually experience people, friendships, that is the bigger part of what you guys are missing when you don't come to events. You think you're just missing the training. You think you're just missing the people that you see on stage. It's not that. You're missing the friendships. You're missing the hardcore things that happen to you, right? So I want to talk about 3 breakthroughs I had, and if I muster enough courage, I'll talk about some other stuff. But the people that helped me the most, I would say, was Justin D. Rengia, of course, Aaron Rashkin, and David Wood. So I'll kind of center what I'm talking about around them. Prior to the event, I had 2 huge things holding me back. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to tell you what they were. They were procrastination, like having a lazy work ethic. Second thing was showing up as a real me. And I know I've talked about this before. I talked about the breakthrough I had with Chris Rushlow on a live stream. In fact, he shared the very story on that live stream that he did at this event. And that is, but I had an even deeper breakthrough on this. So I'm going to talk about the first breakthrough I had, and this was before the event even started. Um, I drove myself to the airport. It was about a 4-hour drive, and I had never before driven on a freeway. Okay, so a freeway, I would call a freeway like a lane that has, 4 different lanes. And it was really, really terrifying for me. If you've been following me, you know that I grew up Amish, so I wasn't used to driving, and I'd also been in 2 accidents. So I have a huge anxiety around driving. So the breakthrough that I had when I was, white knuckling my entire way to the Detroit airport was that when you're laser focused and all you're focused on is not dying and not veering off like a centimeter or a centimeter to the left or the right, and all you're focusing on is what's right in front of you, that is the kind of focus that you need in your business. That's the kind of focus that you need to have with your goals. Is that because when all you can see is what's right in front of you, you're not worried about what's behind you, what's in, it's just, everything is just there, okay? And so I had that. The second breakthrough I had was at the event, I heard something called the speed of implementation. I don't know who said it, but they said that success is, derived from a few things. And one of the things was speed of implementation. What sets you apart from the leaders is how fast that you apply what you learn. So it's one thing to go to events and buy trainings and learn things, but it's another thing to apply them. And I would have to add, it's a third thing to apply it quickly. Back when I first started my business, I got this brainwave about Facebook ads, okay? And it took me months and months and months to apply my big idea about what I wanted to do with my Facebook ads. And guess what? In like a week, Facebook changed its guidelines, and I could no longer take action on my idea because it no longer worked. Okay, so when you're thinking about wanting to be successful, you've got to be all about how fast can you implement your ideas, how fast can you implement what you learn. I heard I think one of the speakers said as well that you can focus on the I'm going to have to maybe get you guys to help me out with this one. 20%, you can focus on 20% of your life that, no wait, it was this. You can focus on the 80% of your life that is going, crappy, right? Or you can focus on the 20% that is going great. And it is so true, because when you focus, sure, 80% of your life, that's a lot of things that are sucky that are going on. And it's overwhelming and it's crushing. But we always forget that there's 20% that's actually going great. And that focus, if you just switch that from the 80% to the 20%, can change you. Right? The last thing, and this is the hardest one. The last breakthrough I had was when Aaron Rashkin spoke. And also, a teammate came up to me as well. I'm not going to mention her name, but she knows who she is. And basically, yeah, this is what it was about. Aaron said, don't walk around trying to look good for other people when you don't even like yourself. So if you look in the mirror and you hate yourself, why are you spending so much time trying to get other people to like you if you don't even like yourself? I think that's what he said. And his entire talk was so mesmerizing to me. I was glued in my chair. My eyes were looking into his eyes, and I couldn't move. It felt like everything he was saying was just hitting me, because while I had had a breakthrough with Chris Rushlow about being transparent and being myself, there was still a part of me that didn't accept myself, that didn't accept the weight I was at, that didn't accept how I showed up in video, right? And it just, the event was almost over, and we were sitting down to eat, and a friend of mine that was eating with us asked me, Shirley, can I ask you a personal question or a private question? And I said yes, and I said, actually, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm not ready to hear it because I knew it was a big one. But she got me to say yes, and I don't know how she worded the question because I sometimes block it, but she asked me if I could accept myself the way I am, or if I could. Can one of you guys come out and help me with this? I'm just really struggling with trying to find the words.
Shirley, was it me at that restaurant?
You and another person.
Yes.
I think I know what you're talking about,
I
Shirley.
want to walk people through that because it was a big breakthrough for me. But it's hard to put into words, but I want to share it. So
I think it was about I could be wrong, but was it about the photographs that sometimes that you put up? Was it that conversation?
yes.
Yeah. So I think what this person was trying to say is, what's the point in putting up a photograph of you 2 years ago when you looked a certain way, when the way that you are now you wouldn't put up any photos? Like, it's hard for me to explain because I wasn't the person that said it, but basically if you change and you're not happy with the way you are, you need to get to a place where, to be your true authentic self, you need to be able to put up a photograph. It doesn't matter if you've gained 10 pounds or however you're feeling, but if you hide behind an old image that you feel confident in yourself about that image, you're not being the real you, not because people want to see you now, but because I can't explain it very well. It's still you, but whenever you put up an old image on Facebook that isn't the real you, inside yourself you probably know, and you probably don't like yourself for doing that. So if you can get to a place where you accept yourself for the way you are now, it doesn't matter if you've put on weight or if you've cut all your hair off or if you've tattooed your whole body or whatever. As you grow and change, you need to allow people to see that change in you, whether it's good or bad, because that's
I wanted to say, immediately after that, I changed the picture on my fan page to who I am, right? And since the event, I've been able to lose 10 pounds. And this, to me, is like, I've always been really, really paranoid that if I start losing weight, and I don't know if you guys struggle with this, but if you're overweight, right? If I start losing weight, will I start hating myself again? Because back when I was younger and I had an eating disorder, I got to skin and bones and I hated myself because I still wasn't happy. I thought if I lose all the weight, it'll make me happy, and it didn't. So now, trying to lose weight again, I had this fear. Am I going to start hating myself again? And because of the breakthrough that I had with Erin and with Zen, with the other women at the table, I was just finally able to release, whatever was going on, and to finally get some progress in my life and to finally accept who I am was one of the biggest breakthroughs I had. Another person said as well, you can choose perfection or progress. And hands down, I choose progress every time. I don't care how long it takes. For me, I will always choose progress. So that's just what I want to end with. Erin as well said, just release and let yourself be who you really are. Because if you don't know who you really are, you got to stop trying to figure it out. Because when you stop trying, that's who shows up. And that's the you that is good enough. So I just want to hand it back over to Nettie and end it there.
You always do this to me. Like, you leave me speechless when you lay your heart out like that, which is so beautiful. I mean, it's just, do you guys get this that are watching out there? I mean, look at what these people are sharing with us that came out of this event. Not only are they sharing nuggets on how to handle your work, but they're also sharing nuggets on how to, get your head around things. And then here's a big one. They're sharing nuggets how it affects you inside and how it makes you a better person. It doesn't matter what you look like. Nobody cares. All they care about is your story. They don't care what you look like. They don't care if you've got a Barbie figure or if you're my age or whatever it is. Just be you. Just be you.
Beautiful. And I love Shirley's transparency. I mean, see, that's something I'm learning from you, little girl. It's, you're an old soul, and it's really beautiful to see you disclose like that, because it helps me want to do it. So I appreciate you.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is if nobody has picked up on this yet that's watching us, is how unified we are, how we care about each other. It doesn't matter that I'm old enough to be Shirley's grandma. We're sisters. We're all on the panel. And the guys that are on this, they're our brothers. I mean, this team is awesome. It's just magnificent. We all care about each other, and thank you so much, Miss Shirley, for laying it out there for us again. All of you have done it, and now I can hardly wait for Kristen to come on.
Awesome. Well, Nettie, thank you for making me cry, because all of a sudden all this stuff shared. But I'm going to be quick, and I do want to point out quick for our viewers, we do understand and realize that our Empower Hour comes on at 9 o'clock. We do everything possible to respect that, so I'm going to go super fast, but please, please stick with us. We promise that we won't, if we do go over a tiny bit today, it won't be by much. I'm watching the clock, so just stick with us. My biggest breakthrough this past event was one night, we went to this restaurant, and I found these 2 whiskey drinks. And my heart was just complete. Just totally kidding. Okay, I just had to lighten up the mood. But I really did love these whiskey drinks. They had ginger. They made ginger ice, like out of ginger, and so delicious. I think about it every night before I go to bed. And no, I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. I don't drink very much, but I did. Anyways, my real breakthroughs from the event. It's kind of a combination of everything that everyone spoke about. Morgan mentioned, and Shirley did too, about how we all room together. And, thinking about it, and Morgan said this too while we were at the event, she said, she goes, I'm finding myself saying things and asking questions that I wouldn't normally ask, because I would be afraid of our reactions. And I want to say that we're like a family. When you join this team and you really embrace not just our team, but the Empower Network culture, you become family. But I also don't like saying that, because a lot of people have very messed up families, and who wants, so when I say that, this is like the healthiest form of family that you can find. And in fact, if you're missing out on a healthy family, this is the place you want to be, because like Morgan mentioned to us and talking about it, she said, I'm finding myself able to say things and ask questions that I would never be able to say. And I'll tell you, this is our honest conversations, and I want to share this with you, because to me it's some of my breakthroughs of being around people. You just learn about yourself, because the conversation would go like this. Morgan would ask me a question, let's say, and I'd give her my answer, and I have a tendency sometimes on certain topics to get a little bit defensive, like many of us do, and all of a sudden I'd be like, shit, Morgan, I'm sorry. I was like, you just brought something out in me, and I need to reframe that. And then I'd have to go back later, and then we talk through it, and it's a whole learning experience. So not only did we learn about each other from the question we asked, but you learn about how you're having conversations with people. And it makes me a better friend and a better family member for my family back here, because a lot of the things that we struggle with on a daily basis, this family, this environment here, it forces you to face them, but in such a positive and healthy manner. To be honest, when I'm at the events, I feel like that's when I'm myself. That's when I'm complete. That's when I can simply be myself. I'm still a work in progress. Then try to drive me onto the dance floor at this little restaurant. Yeah, no growth there, but I'm a work in progress. But it's amazing. And so now I've totally lost my train of thought again. So I'll go with what Dave Wood said that really, really stuck out to me. He said, he goes, there's very few people that I don't like. And he said, in fact, majority of the time, it's not people we don't like. It's the facade they're putting on. And we're so afraid of people not liking us and who we really are that we put this facade on that people won't like us for, because people don't like fake people. People want to see you being real, and they want the real me. So that's the one thing I've learned. Like a lot of these women have already said, is just having that courage to be yourself and to be true to who you are, and to tell your story, because people are gonna like you if you're real, if you're completely who you are, because people can tell. They can tell when you're not. The other thing that Tracy Walker said this, and I think it's so important, especially if you're somebody who is resistant to going to events, especially because I hear this a lot. Well, they're just all hype. I don't need that. I need technique. I don't need to be hyped. I don't need to be motivated, blah, 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 blah. She said motivation comes from the inside out. The leaders, we here on this panel, we cannot motivate you to take action. We cannot motivate you, but we can inspire you. And that's what this is all about. Events are all about inspiring you. And way, way, way back when, like going back to my very first event ever, Toby Black walked through this exercise, a meditation exercise, and visualizing your perfect day. And I've never felt so powerful in my life. And then of course I somehow lost that a little bit over the last 3 years. And this happened at the last event. He walked through the group in a meditation again. And I told him afterwards, I said, Toby, listening to your voice and listening to you speak, it brought me back to feeling how I felt when I got started. And he told me, he said, Kristen, bottle that feeling up, and anytime you feel not motivated, you need some inspiration, hold on to that feeling and just bring it up. And that's what these events give you the power to do. They give you that solid foundation so that when you're having a bad day and you're not feeling motivated and you're feeling low, you have a feeling that you can drag up from inside of you, and you have that power back. And to me, that's just the most incredible thing. And that's what this event did for me too, is just that constant reminder that, if I can be myself in this group of people, when I'm at the events, I can be that same person when I'm at home. And anytime I doubt that, I just go back and I literally visualize how I felt rooming with Morgan and rooming with Zen and Shirley. And I literally just go back to those moments, and I find myself from that point on. And then the last thing, I'm going to end it with this. That was, kind of a ramble. I'm sorry. The last thing, this company. If you're just looking at Empower Network, I want to tell you something. There's no company out there that could ever compete with us. Probably one of my biggest, I just love seeing it was when the corporate team got up on stage. The whole corporate panel, our CEO, our Mars, I don't know all their titles, but all the marketing people, and they told us, they shared with us how much they care about this company and how much they care about us as affiliates and as independent business owners. And they talked about how, they joke around and say that they work half days, as in half a day, 12 hours a day, and how they're up at some nights at 2 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's pretty much a 24/7 job. And it's not just, the heart is just not in the leaders of affiliates. It is throughout the whole entire company. When decisions are made, they're going to make mistakes. Every company does it. We're run by humans, okay? There's going to be mistakes. They're not going to be perfect. But they will fix their mistakes if you give them time. And that's the other thing that I just love, love, love. Dave Wood, his first speech, he gets up and says, well, these are all the problems that Empower Network has. And the next sentence is, this is how we're going to fix it. And come out with all of these announcements that, no, we're not going to tell you what they are. You got to wait for them if you're not at the event. That's part of the incentive of getting to the events, is when you're there to hear what it is. But let me tell you something. There's no other company like that. There's no other company that you're going to see the heart behind not only the affiliates, but the actual people, like the actual support, the actual people that if you call them up on the phone, they're just the nicest, warmest people. It is seriously the healthiest family that you could ever be a part of. So please just be yourself. Be confident with who you are. Be confident in this business. Be confident in the fact that you're the only one stopping you from success. And there is everything. We have everything. Somebody asked, they said, what do you need? Like, what do you need? And all of a sudden, I was like, I don't need anything. I have everything that I need to be successful. So do you. It's just a matter of making that decision and being yourself and taking action. So I'm going to pass it on to back to Nettie.
Well, thank you, Kristen. Wow, you kicked it. You really, I love it when you get going. You don't ever think that you're rambling, because you're not. It's whatever comes out of your mouth is just golden. So I loved it. But I'm going to move right along. Erica, do you have anything to add to what the girls have said?
Well, I was going to talk about my favorite speaker, who was actually Silvio Fortunato from Portugal, but we've got 3 minutes to go, so I'm just going to say this. My favorite quote is, not everybody gets to events, but leaders do. When I listened to every single one of you speak tonight, I saw leadership. And it's something that you can't get sitting at home. And I don't know what the magic sauce is. And I know everyone watching this hangout saw exactly what I saw. Leadership comes from getting to events, because you get to hang around those 6, 7, sometimes even 8-figure earners, and you change. And it's a magical thing that you can't get from sitting behind a computer. So I just want to say one thing. I would love it if each and every one of you got to Vegas. Maybe, you've been thinking, like myself, Morgan, we had the same issues, with events. Oh my God, it's so far. But how far are you prepared to go to make your business work? I have seen Morgan shine. I don't recognize the Morgan I see today from the Morgan I knew 2 years ago. And everyone's noticed it, and it's the thing. Events change you from the inside out. And Shirley, my darling, I just want to let you know that you brought the breakthroughs tonight in the house. I've been watching the chat roll. Breakthroughs don't just happen at events. I remember you had a breakthrough before the previous one. You had a breakthrough at this event, and you've allowed people in the chat roll to have a breakthrough as well. So it's such a powerful thing. So that's all I want to say, is that, not everybody gets to events, but leaders do. Thank you, everyone.
I don't know what else to add to that. I just think tonight was, it was a wow night. I mean, I think we're great every night, but boy, you girls tonight just, you just brought it and you kicked it and you put your heart and soul out there, and thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. And yes, I will be in Vegas. But we have to go. It's going to be Empower. I hope all of you out there got as much out of this as what I did, and even Erica. I mean, we weren't able to be physically at Nashville, but our hearts and our minds were there. And thank you so much for sharing. And on that note, we better cut it loose, because it is 9 o'clock, but I want to encourage you, if you would love to join our team, there's a Get Started button below this Hangout, and just click that and you can get signed up tonight. Just lickety-split and be ready to go. And as soon as you're signed up, somebody gets back to you and gets in touch with you and helps you get going. If you were invited here by somebody else, get back to that person and let them know that you'd be very interested in moving forward with this, because we would love to have you on the team. So again, I want you all to go out there, have a rockin' week of it, and we will see you back here next Monday night, same time, same place, different topic. But yeah, we've loved it tonight. Thanks for coming. Bye now.